Wait a minute. Either you farted, or I smell cheap Irish whiskey and desperation.
Hey, it's enough of this.
It's Moose.
Enough of this bullshit.
Hey, what's this crap?
Oh no!
You can take some time. I don't mind, brother.
Get the hell off the stage, you
Give it up for
bathroom carpet.
Wolfman, please give it up.
But don't get real for this guy. I don't know what.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Hey!
I tell you, hey, you! Shut the fuck up too, alright? Just shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I've heard so much goddamn brown nosing tonight that I think I'm at a Pete Ricketts press conference. Somebody needs to lay down some goddamn truth. And I'm the guy. I didn't get up here to spit some mad flow. Although if you ask nice later, maybe I will. But I got some things to say. Now, I do have to apologize. This wasn't nearly important enough for me to memorize anything, so I am using some notes. I'm Moose Epperson. Some of you may know me. Sorry about that. I'd like to say a couple of things about our friend Kevin. Kevin. When Kevin asked me if I'd like to spend the evening at the Chicken Boy's 40th birthday spectacular, I told him I'd rather spend the evening with my parents. He said to me, Moose, aren't your parents dead? Yes, Kevin. Yes, they are. However, I came down here anyway. And I'd like to point some things out. And as I said, I'm using some notes. So I got phone numbers and shit to keep track of, so, I'm just going to go from this here. But unlike many of you, I did not meet Chicken Boy first. I met Kevin Heesacker. Not sure which one of you I envy. But I'm going to talk tonight not about Chicken Boy. Take this out of that before I fall over with it. But I'm going to talk about the man behind the costume with his paltry puns. Wasn't sure I was going to get through that one. Now that that's behind us, I can really start drinking. Excuse me a moment. Kevin is a man who has overcome much adversity. And I don't just mean the genetic adversity. I mean, look at him. But his home life wasn't always the greatest either. No. The story is told about one night when young Kevin wet himself in his sleep. And he ran to his mother. He said, Mom, I had an accident. And his mother said, honey, that's okay. I had an accident once too. And now it pisses the bed. Kevin has a deep, abiding, passionate love for the Halloween season. Decorating his home in a true haunted experience every year. It's amazing what the man does. And this love of Halloween is even more amazing considering that every year his parents send him out trick-or-treating dressed as a speed bump.
It was a good costume.
Well, stripes are slimming. I first met Kevin through our mutual friend, Sam Rocha. Amazing performer and incredibly talented videographer, Sam Rocha. Sam Rocha. The only Hispanic guy I know who can steal your hubcaps and get really good footage of himself doing it. I was auditioning for a role in a film that Kevin had written and Sam was filming. This film was an incredibly stupid Mailbow postal delivery, a sequel to the equally terrible Mailbow. As I read the insipid dialogue and the lame, tired jokes, I realized that I was in the presence of a type of genius. Not a good type, but genius nonetheless. When I first shook Kevin's hand, I was reminded immediately of my first job, gutting fish. But thanks to the copious amounts of alcohol I had consumed, we hit it off and made a pretty damn good terrible movie. Fortunately, Kevin was easily distracted by jingling car keys, and he didn't notice that most of us ad-libbed most of the movie.
I did too.
What a great cast we had for that film, really. These were all people that I had primarily met for the first time while we were filming this movie. And it was incredible. And a few of them are here tonight. There's Eric Luna. Eric Luna, mentalist. You think he could have predicted how that outfit would look before he left the house tonight. But for those of you who either missed his performance a little earlier or fell asleep during it, I'm going to give you a little recap, okay? Let me show you here what an Eric Luna performance is like. I'm going to put this up here. Okay. I have here in my pocket an envelope. And in this envelope, I have a question. This has been sealed by someone other than myself. But there's a question in here, and I'm going to predict the answer. And then I will read the question to you. Let's see here. Everybody quiet. This takes some concentration. Okay, I'm seeing something. I'm seeing something. I feel it here. Oh, there it is. Oh, wait, no, that's something else. Okay, there it is. Most of my jokes, the "you must be at least this tall to ride" sign at the amusement park, and the mid-calf hemline of a moderately tall woman. Let's see what the question is, shall we? Name 3 things that go over Kevin's head. I'm going to slow that down again here for Strawstone. Name 3 things that go over Kevin's head. This shit's too easy. And then there's Joe Riss. Joe Skippy Riss. What can I say about Joe Riss that won't eventually be read into the record in a court of law? I can say that Joe Riss is positively, absolutely, 100%, irrevocably Joe Riss. Kevin wants his vacuum cleaner back. Let me take this out again here. Following the triumphant release of the film, Kevin turned his eyes yet again to the highest office in the land. After Crystal Gable kicked him out of her office, he turned his thoughts towards the presidency. He launched his Flip the Bird campaign and proceeded to campaign hard, which made most of the people around him rather uncomfortable. His campaign was led by the phenomenal poet, Mandy Morgan,
Bitches.
who is more than a man than half of you sons of bitches here tonight, and probably wears a bigger jockstrap.
That's right.
Now, me, not being someone to let someone else's joke go unstolen, I entered the race as well. What followed was over a year of poorly photoshopped ads, terrible grammar, shoddily built jokes, and failed comedic concepts. I posted some stuff too. When the Poultry Party had their convention, I was there. It was history, and I was there. The incredibly talented musician David Zorko was there as well, and performed a very catchy little diss track called Duck, Duck the Moose, which is stuck in my fucking head to this day. It was very entertaining, I will admit that. But, David Zorko. Guy talks a lot of shit for somebody named after He-Man's pet wizard. In the course of the campaign, I also met some other amazing people. Mike Bodkin. Mike, fantastic. one of my most rabid supporters in the campaign. That's a man. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He really is. You know, hit him with a car, electrocute him on stage,
He's fine.
put him in a fucking movie with me. The man keeps coming back. He's like fucking Jason Voorhees. Or, you know, genital warts. And I also met some other amazing performers. Strawstone. I mentioned Strawstone. I'll tell you. Can't forget about Strawstone. You know, for the longest time, my only interaction with Strawstone was on Facebook. As part of this group, you know, I knew Strawstone was out there on the edges of this group, and I had no idea, but we talked a little bit. Seemed to be a pretty cool person. You know, and for the longest time, I thought he was a hot chick. Imagine my disappointment when we finally met. Although I will say he does know the first rule of internet marketing. Market your strengths. We ended up getting a 2-hour movie out of the campaign. You know, featured prominently with old Allie Marie there. You know, and she got up here and spoke. It's like fucking Wednesday Addams if she really liked comfort food. You know, that one was an ad-lib. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Allie. I apologize for that. I realized as you got up to spoke, I went, oh shit, I didn't say anything about Allie. I better come up with something. It's the best I could do. I apologize. You know.
You suck.
Shut up, Skippy. But we got a 2-hour mark. We got a two-hour movie out of the campaign, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a really cool movie. And I advise you all to buy a copy of it if it's available, or see it on YouTube if you're cheap bastards like me. I'm not sure Kevin knew that it wasn't real, but it's his birthday, so let's not tell him. Now, this is the part of these kind of things that everybody hates, but I'm going to get serious for a second. You know, I've talked a lot of smack about a lot of people here tonight, but everything I've said comes from a place of great respect and love. You know, I really do love all you guys. I love hanging out with this group. I think you're all incredible performers. And I hope, you know, everything I've said comes from a place of great respect and love. And I hope you all take it that way, because I'm scared of most of you. I'm looking at you, Mandy. No, but here's the serious part, and I gotta put this out there. But last spring, one of my brothers had a hemorrhagic stroke and lapsed into a coma, and he was in that coma for about a week and then passed away. Now, during that time, he ran up some incredibly astronomical hospital bills, which were all going to be left to be dealt with by his kids and his grandchild. And my other brother and I, along with our cousin, we organized what we called a death party. And it was a fundraiser for our late brother and the kids. You know, we were trying to do a day of music, and it was a silent auction. We had drinking and debauchery. It was a lot of fun, just to raise a few bucks to help the kids with the expenses. Without hesitation, Kevin contacted me and offered a piece of his original artwork for the auction. It was a piece that actually ended up going for the second highest amount of everything in the auction. And I mean, we're talking, your painting brought almost 300 bucks, you know. And it was worth every penny. I mean, his artwork is so much better than his stage performances, because you don't have to listen to him when you're looking at the art. But he did all this, and I do apologize. I'm kind of choking up a little bit. We're actually damn near to the anniversary of his death, so it kind of affected me a little bit there. But you've got no idea how grateful I am for that. And the gratitude from my brother's family and his grandchild is astronomical, and I really appreciate that. Several of the other performers here tonight that I've attacked so mercilessly had reached out and contacted me, and they expressed that they would have been more than happy to come and perform at this fundraiser too, if they had not been committed to an event out of town that same day. And you know, I mean, I can't blame them. who wouldn't pass up a death party with music and kick-ass barbecue and drinking and all kinds of fun for a nice, quiet, drama-filled weekend in North Platte? I love you, Sam. So, in closing, I'd like to say happy birthday to one of the good ones, my friend Kevin Heesacker. Here's to 40 and to 40 more. You keep on being you.
That's right.
Showing the world that a short, pasty guy with a 4th grade vocabulary and a speech impediment can have some redeeming social value. I love you, man. Good night, everybody.